he's retired, he can play lots and lots of games with me and he doesn't have to work.
Check.
I'll never leave him. I love him too much. He's the best dad in the world.
Like father, like son.
Hey, hey, hey.
But Ross is not Donnie's dad.
And you always notice where we park, don't you? Yeah.
14-year-old Sapphire is not Judy's daughter.
Are we going home after this?
But their bond is unbreakable.
To me, she's just like my mum. Like, when I was little, I was alright calling her Nan, but now I'm kind of wondering whether I should call her mum or not. Can I sit in the front?
Yes, you can sit in the front.
How determined are you to give Saf the childhood that she deserves?
All the way. I'll keep doing that for as long as I possibly can. So that's every year of my life that's to come.
They should be looking forward to a peaceful retirement.
You biting the duck's beak off.
But for tens of thousands of grandparents like Mary and Errol, their golden years are a far cry from what they'd imagined.
What's your reward?
Seeing a happy face. Seeing a happy child.
Oh dear.
They've given up everything to become parents again.
Where's
You want to
it?
go back? She wanted to go back.
Give me a kiss.
To protect them and provide them with what they need in life.
Chloe's going to win, Emily's going to win. Quick, 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 quick.
I'd be prepared to jump off a cliff for them if I had to. It's as simple as that.
When I was 5, I came to live with my grandparents, and really I just thought it was like a holiday, but then I just like stayed there for ages, and then I didn't mind. I didn't even ask questions about my dad or anything.
When Sapphire's mother couldn't cope, her father tried to raise her on his own. Desperate and alone, he called on his mother Judy for help.
Well, she had the first 3 or 4 years with her mum, then about 6 months in foster care, and then 6 months with her dad, and then she came to us. So we were the 4th family she came to live in.
Judy and husband Jeff were in their 60s when Sapphire moved in.
Where I was free to, as a retired lady, to go wherever I want. What are you working on at the moment? Now we're bound by school hours.
She's had her children, and then she's retired, and then she thinks she's gonna like retire and go on holidays with Granddad, and then like I came and she's kind of had to put all the like what old people do on hold.
Donnie's parents were addicted to drugs, and he was their last priority. At age 2, they walked out of his life.
I can't think of anything.
Okay, what do you got?
And approaching their 70s, grandparents Ross and Judy were left to pick up the pieces. Donnie is now 8.
Do you remember the day that Donnie arrived on your doorstep?
Yeah, because the parents just arrived and said, would we have him because they're leaving the state that night. Well, they offered him, and we weren't going to reject him. There's no choice. You can't say no, cut him off to the gutter with you.
If Ross and Judy had said no, Donnie would have been left in foster care. But saying yes meant turning their lives upside down.
It just sort of takes over your life and you fall into another routine. You abandon plan A and I guess we're on plan D, E or F or G. I've lost count now.
Most people would shudder at the thought of doing what you do every day. What gets you out of bed every morning?
Donnie.
There's nothing what my grandpa can't do what other dads can.
There we go, Donnie. Look, you can see the farm from there.
Yeah?
See those buildings there?
Oh yeah.
Leave the snow on your head. The bones might creak a bit and so on from some of these activities, but the pleasure of him learning and getting something out of it, it's worth it. People say, oh, he'll keep you young. I reckon he'll keep me tired.
Do you think you keep him young?
A bit.
Oh, that's worse.
Do you think you're keeping your grandparents young?
Yes, definitely.
Another one.
My nan and granddad still do a lot of things at their age, like that older people usually wouldn't be able to do.
Is there anything that worries you or scares you?
Sometimes it scares me, like whether they might get old and who would I live with after they pass away or something.
How would you feel if Grandpa wasn't there for you one day?
Really, really sad. I would.
Yes, there's so sad stories. Kids, parents get killed. They don't know what's going on, where they're going to, who's going to look after them. And then when these kids come to the grandparents, they turn around and say, what's going to happen to you if you die? What's going to happen to me if you die? Who's going to look after me? Just sit and no, I'm not hungry.
After raising his own grandkids, John Ward now runs support groups to help others in the same situation.
It's a lot of wear and tear on a grandparent.
Behind closed doors, they gather in every city and country towns to share their stories and their pain.
The little bloke, he's 8 years old. He'd run every night, he'd lock the doors so no one would steal him.
It's okay, George.
Yep, it's a real problem, mate.
In Australia, at least 35,000 children are now being raised by their grandparents.
There's only the tip of the iceberg of these kids living with the grandparents we know of. There's probably another 30 or 40,000 we don't even know of.
And we'll scream and yell as long as we can because it's wrong.
While foster parents automatically receive an average of $200 a week per child, getting government help as a grandparent is a maze of red tape.
3 months if nonsense.
Some states offer as little as $12 per week.
And hope you give up and go away, but we're not going to.
Grandparents can apply for additional carer payments, but the process can take up to a year. And if they get custody of the child through the family court, they get no state assistance at all.
So what sort of people are they?
Real battlers. Some are probably only on a pension. Some are single grandparents, single pension grandparents. And they've probably got 2 or 3 kids to look after. I've seen them go without medication so they can put food on the table for these kids. And that shouldn't happen.
How much of your savings for your retirement have you spent raising these kids?
Nearly all of it.
Who can I get first? Right, I got you.
Pensioners Errol and Mary are looking after 5 kids, all under the age of 6.
You be careful of the puppy, Thomas.
If 3 grandchildren weren't enough,
Down here on the ground and get crunched.
incredibly, they've taken on 2 more foster kids, but they wouldn't have it any other way.
They're crunched.
What sort of a child do you see looking back at you?
A child in need. A child that needs somewhere to stay, where they feel safe. If they look at you and they come running to you and want to cuddle, you know jolly well they feel okay and they feel safe with you. If they run the other way, well, you're not doing something right, are you? You sleep on the top bunk?
Errol had banked on using his savings to realise a dream.
The caravan was originally purchased with the idea of touring around Australia with it. Yeah, we'll go in the caravan soon then, won't we? Eh? What do you reckon? That hasn't happened as yet. I'm not sure that it will happen. Whilst we've got all these children in any case, they're more important than us touring around the country.
I'll get this bug out and clean it. It's dirty. I'm glad you come up. You've got better eyes than me. See that little screwdriver there somewhere? Yeah.
These grandparents are so determined, they'll go any way they can to get a better life for these kids because they can see they haven't had a life living with their parents. But the gut they've got and the fight they've got in them is just unbelievable.
Now careful, careful.
Why has it never been uncovered almost in Australia?
I think the grandparents are too proud to bring it forward. And I think it's about time someone got up and stood on the plate and said, right, we need some more support for these grandparents.
If you heap that first, it runs off, doesn't it?
They need a gold medal because they've got a real battle in front of them.
People have said to me, oh, I don't know how you do it. I could never do that. But I think when it comes to the crunch, if it was their grandchild, for a lot of cases, I think they would.
It took years before Sapphire learnt to trust again. It was tough, but Judy didn't let go.
She just had to realise that Granddad and I were there for the long term. And gradually she realised that she wasn't being moved anywhere else, she was staying with us. And she really values family. I think she's probably got a heightened sense of how important they are.
How much does she mean to you?
Everything.
It's pretty precious.
If you could say something to her now.
Love you, Nana.
I'm gonna cry.
She's special, isn't she?
How long do you want to spend with Grandpa?
Forever. We're family.
In some ways, I feel closer to him than I did my own daughters.
How long do you plan to be around for Donnie?
No, I've decided I will until I drop. I've decided that. I've still got a bit of life left in me yet.